there, it's Erin from littleslovelearning.com, and today I am here to share with you more information about phonological awareness. So if you've seen my previous video, you know that phonological awareness is being able to hear and manipulate the sounds in a spoken language. So this is all done orally. You also know that phonological awareness is an umbrella term, meaning there are many subcategories underneath it that we want to work on with our little ones. So here's the graphic again. Here's our umbrella for phonological awareness, and we have all of these subcategories underneath. Today's video is going to be all about word awareness, which is the most basic level of phonological awareness. Now, if you think about it, listening to someone speak a language just orally, it can be tricky to pick out the words of that language if you don't have a background in it. If you're listening to someone speak a foreign language, you might not be able to hear each individual word. You just hear sounds that are running together, and you don't know where one word ends and another word begins because they speak so seamlessly. Well, the same is true for those of us who speak English. When our little ones are first hearing us speak, they are learning how to pick out the sounds that are words and pick out each individual words in those spoken sentences. And they're starting to put meaning to those words, and it's a lot of information that they're learning. Their development during those toddler and preschool years is huge. And so word awareness really gets to the heart of having our little ones listening to us speak and picking out the different words. That's sentence segmentation, but then also having them play with those words. We want them to really have fun with language, so not only listening to it, but also being able to play with it. So I have lots of tips for you today on how you can do that, either at home or in your classroom with your little ones. So let's get started. Okay, so if I'm working on sentence segmentation with my little ones, meaning I want them to be able to pick out those individual words in a sentence, here are some games I could play. The first one is called Move It. I would say a silly sentence, and then I would have my little ones do an action for each word they hear in the sentence. For example, they could do a lunge, they could do a jumping jack, they could do a squat, they could do a frog jump, something to move their bodies for each word in the silly sentence. The next activity is called Smash It. I would say a silly sentence, and I would have my little ones create a Play-Doh ball for each word they heard in the sentence. Then they can smash the Play-Doh ball for each word in the sentence as they repeat the sentence to me. That's really good for helping them remember, keeping in their short-term memory that sentence, and then they smash a Play-Doh ball for each word. Another activity is Build It. And so I would say a silly sentence, and then I would have my students build a tower, or build out of magnetiles, or build out of Legos, a tower that is that height. So if my silly sentence had 5 words, then I would want them to put one block, or one magnetile, or one Lego for each word, and have it build up and see how tall it is. Another one is called hopscotch. I'm sure you know what a hopscotch board looks like, but you could draw a hopscotch board outside with sidewalk chalk. You can say the silly sentence, and then you can have your little one hop for each word in the sentence. They hop on their hopscotch board. And another one is called Tap It. And so I would say the silly sentence, and I would have them tap their body to show the number of words in the sentence. So for example, if it had 4 words, I would have them touch their head, their shoulders, their knees, and their toes. 4 body parts for the 4 words. Though that is just making it more multisensory, more engaging, and more hands-on to hear the individual words in spoken sentences. Another component of word awareness is being able to play with words, not just the sentence, but the individual word. So for example, I could do a nursery rhyme mix-up. And maybe if I'm learning the nursery rhyme Jack and Jill with my students, instead of Jack and Jill went up the hill, I could use the names of students in my class. So maybe Olivia and Caden went up the hill. Or I could change where they're going from hill to something else. Jack and Jill went up the mountain. Mountain, was that correct? And I could see if they could pick out what I got wrong. You can do this with all sorts of nursery rhymes. You can also do this with songs. So if they are comfortable with a certain song, maybe Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star, you can change words in that song and see if they pick it up. So maybe Twinkle, Twinkle, Giant Star. And they'll say, giant? No, it's little. So you're wanting them to see if they can tell how you mixed up that sentence or that word or that nursery rhyme because you're changing it. Another thing that I love to do when I'm working with words is to work on compound words with my little ones. So a compound word is a word that's made up of two words put together. So for example, foot, ball, football. It makes a new word. So there are really fun games you can play with compound words. You can use picture cards for this to help them see a foot and a ball comes together, but then it makes a football, which is a totally different word. So there are all sorts of ways you can play with these. Again, this is all done orally. You can use pictures if you'd like, but there is no printed text with this because as phonological awareness goes, we're working on just listening and manipulating the sounds in our language, and we're not worried about reading or writing at this stage. So I hope those ideas were helpful for you. I think word awareness is one of those pieces of literacy development that sort of gets overlooked because people want to rush right into letters and sounds. But if you have little ones and they're only toddlers or young preschoolers, I would definitely work on word awareness. You can do this when you have your students lining up. You can do this in the car if you're a parent or at lunchtime when you're eating with your little ones. You can just incorporate this throughout the day. It doesn't need to include flashcards. It doesn't need to include strict literacy lessons. This is all about fun. It is all about using multisensory techniques to help our little ones with their phonological awareness development. Because like we said before, that is the #1 predictor for future reading success. If our little ones want to be strong readers later on, we want them to have a strong foundation in phonological awareness now. So I hope this video was helpful. I do have other videos in this Phonological Awareness series. I will link them down below. If you have any questions, you can comment below or find me on my website, littleslovelearning.com. I'll see you later. Bye.